I figured it's a good time to talk about this. Disconnect to reconnect.
On Instagram, you get some really great tidbits of wisdom on Instagram, and someone shared a post about the same subject, and we haven't spoke to you about
Interesting.
This. And it's in Harvard studies. They found that for work, it's about productivity at work. Harvard studies, they said the optimum work environment should be 90 minutes of work with 20 minutes of relaxation, disconnection. Yep. And that would create a state of flow. And I've just thought so many times, if I'm really focused on something, I can really focus on something. And this is about looking at Harvard studies. I'm sure everyone watching this, you get really into something, you get so passionate, but then you actually get brain melt for a time, and you want to take more coffee and get more stimulants, and come on, I really want to do this, but you just end up getting nowhere.
Absolutely.
So, and I've noticed it is great to just get up, move, walk, and the best thing, anything, is meditate. And what I've learned in my crazy life, the one thing that I've always gone to, and I've said this time and time again, because we run mind, body, and spirit retreats, and when your mind is overtaking everything and it's so crazy, and like, I've gone to the gym and it's disconnected me, and it's almost it's reconnected me. But there is a flip side to that.
Yeah.
Because I'm stressed and I can't think straight, and I need to really work. And the last thing I can't go and have a workout. I've got too much to do. All right, I know I'm going to go and work out because I'm actually it's my form of meditation. Not knowing what meditation is, now I understand it's become a fantastic form of meditation.
Right.
But the caveat to this is, where I've done that so much, there's so much stress, I end up working out 3 or 4 times a day and end up getting run down. So I've had to learn other techniques to disconnect. Sometimes that could just be being silly. I'm often Mr. Serious all day long. And when I do my boot camps, and even though I'm the professional, I know my stuff, I make it fun. I say, let's be children, let's play. Within reason, obviously, there's got to be some...
Got to be there,
responsibility, but it's about being silly. And it's about having a laugh and we need that in life. Just yesterday, or it was Saturday, I went to your Mantra Therapy Christmas party, and it was great. And people felt silly, even, and
so true.
They're all. I mentioned this. Everybody is there because they believe in spirituality,
right? But
still, when you're getting people to get up and clap and dance, it's an English thing. I don't know about an Indian thing. It's like,
I think there's a lot of Britishness about being proper and being inappropriate in certain circumstances, right?
Dance. What about weddings? The dancers. People don't dance. I'm like, right, come on, and they do like the dad dance. But when you can actually just let yourself go without feeling, it's fabulous, and you're disconnecting from the way you should be. And we all need to learn that every single day.
So true, so true.
I've got so much stress in my life. And it just, I'm glad we do this, because this is weirdly, although I'm connected, I'm disconnected. I'm remembering.
It's the truth, man.
These tools. And
real.
The last thing I want to say is what I loved. The main number, I did an interview. It's the Sarah Morton Firth show at the moment. It's just went out today. I'm going to promote it later.
Oh, nice.
I'm talking about Alex Reid being spiritual, and she asked me a question about significance, and I said, yes, I really want significance. And then she pulled the carpet from underneath my feet and said, "What? Don't you think it's more about connection?" Au contraire, you're absolutely right. I want significance, and I push myself in all the work and the projects, because I want to be. Look at me, Alex Reid, and what I really want more than anything is connection. And I'm just going to finish off. I'm pushing and pushing and pushing, and I need to just relax a little bit. I need to disconnect, because what I really want is that connection. I'm so blinded. I can't see the wood for the trees. I'm pushing for my goal so much. I must get it. I must train. I want significance, and I want the connection. But what I really want is to get that connection. I sometimes need to disconnect and relax.
Yeah, and that's why we have this thing. That's why we have this that's what the importance of this is, that we want to connect. We need to disconnect sometimes in order to reconnect. And it's what you're talking about. We're plugged in too often. We're living in a civilization. I mean, the funny thing is, you and I grew up in the 80s, right? I mean, pretty much our high school and all that was in the 80s. And
the 80s, Prash?
Got a couple of years on you. So we're both very young at our heart.
Yes,
but we grew up in the 80s. And for those of you who have tuned into this or are listening to this on the replay, if you're old enough to remember or young enough at heart to remember, that was a time when we were not as plugged in as we were now.
Oh my goodness,
we didn't have as many computers. We had the Sinclair Spectrum and the Commodore 64.
Absolutely.
And the first version of the Nintendo, maybe the Sega Mega Drive. But we weren't on our computers all day. We weren't on those Game Boys all day. We weren't on games consoles. We didn't even have cell phones, mobile phones in those days. And so what we were doing is we were spending a lot of time fulfilling our desire to connect. And that ultimately is what drives us as humans. It's the thing that gives us pleasure. We were fulfilling it. We had a greater opportunity to fulfill it.
What is happening
we were together
with social media, with access almost 24/7? We can get almost Uber anything in the world. We can have it straight away. What is that doing to us? Are we less connected? I mean, we're more connected, but we're less connected.
Absolutely, because there's multiple things that it's doing to us from a psychological perspective. And yes, there are advantages. We're not disparaging the benefits that these sorts of immediacy technologies bring us. Okay, that these technologies are bringing the world together. This technology is allowing us to do what we're doing right now, to connect and speak. But it's when that technology is overused or used in such or overused or abused, that it starts to have a detrimental effect on the people who are using it. And this is what we're talking about here. So when that happens, Alex, what we're doing is we're creating a false sense. We're reprogramming our expectations to an unrealistic level. We now want immediacy. So it starts with the immediacy of your Prime, Amazon Prime. You get it the next day.
Yeah.
Now then you get your Netflix on demand. So when we create an on-demand mindset, it starts unnecessarily and unfortunately to start to bleed out unwittingly, not even deliberately, but it starts to mysteriously and insidiously invade our other social aspects of our lives. So now we want immediacy with sexual fulfillment. We want immediacy from a romantic relationship. We want that feeling of thrill.
You go out for a romantic meal, and guess what? And I went out the other day with some friends to reconnect, and I checked myself. I said, "Look, guys, what we all doing? What we all got on the table? We all had our mobile phones." And at one point, we were all texting or doing something. And I'm like, what's this all about? And it reminded me of one of the things I did in my recent life, which was Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother. And I wasn't allowed my mobile phone or any outside connection with social media, with a newspaper. And do you know what it forced me to do? Connect with the other people. So I was disconnecting from the outside. And it was wonderful, that community. And that I say like that when we were at your magic therapy on the weekend, and I said, look, we'll feel a bit silly at first, dancing, and it was lovely because when you actually get into it and relax, people relaxed. And then they were going for it at some. You're like, oh yeah, I feel a bit silly doing these mantras and
not at the end, eh?
Then you're like, do you know what? Fuck it. Excuse my language. Fuck it. I'm gonna just dance and go for it and yell and shout and
absolutely.
When people are like that, well, it's great, and you can see them relax, and that's got so many health benefits.
Yeah,
stress, just live life. And what's life all about? Let's have some fun. Obviously, we've got to do serious stuff, but we need to play.
We need to play.
But I personally am. I'm always. I've got, like I said, I want significance. I'm striving. I've got to work. I've got to do stuff.
I think absolutely.
And so But the first thing, what's the first thing most people do? And I'm still guilty of this. When I go to bed, before I go to bed and won't get up, mobile phone, emails.
We want to check. We want to see what's going down, right?
What's going on? I need to be connected. Right. What's going on? Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what you're talking about is it's the cornerstone of our success and our undoing. Our fall, our downfall, and our success. The cornerstone is on the way we connect, the ratio between which we connect and disconnect. And I think you nailed it exactly as that. And I come from a corporate background, right? I've spent 2.5 decades working in corporations, UK, globally, doing this. This was my business, right? And so I learned so much about productivity. And one of those lessons was that the very thing that can help us be more productive in organizations or in our own businesses, or if we work for somebody, for the companies that we work for, is actually to take a break more regularly. Instead, the entire Western commercial infrastructure has been designed that we work 8-9 hour days with a 1 hour break in between, which most people don't take, right? Surveys show that only 60%, something like this, only 60% of Brits who work in employed roles or even business owners take anywhere near an hour's lunch break. Everybody else just skips through it or just works while working. So forget about 20 minutes every 1.5 hours. People aren't even taking a full hour lunch break. And yet the one of the key success factors to increase productivity and reduce stress is staring us in the face. 90 minutes work, take a break, come back. And we don't do that because we're forced to be connected. And now we want to be connected at bedtime, in the morning, looking at our phone.
Do bosses get this today? I'm pretty much the same age as you, give or take a year.
Yeah.
I remember going to work with my dad, who was a builder, working on a building site as a Saturday job sort of thing. And he would always take a 10-minute tea break here or there.
Right.
He was doing hard physical work. And I thought, he's not, but he would work non-stop all day, but 10-minute tea breaks, and have a sit down. And the boss would come along and he said, look, if the boss comes along, look busy with a broom. It was like, you can't keep going all day. And that's difficult. But as much as you might be at a desk, not lifting cement, or you're still lifting cement in your mind. I mean, it could be, you have a hard day on the office.
Right here, right?
You need those breaks. I wonder if the boss doesn't realise, come on, do you think they're getting it today?
I think bosses are beginning to get it, but we're still far behind. I think there are other cultures who get this better. In the US and the UK, we are still behind. What we're doing, crazily, and obviously this is one of my main areas of passion and interest, right? Peak performance, how to improve our performance in our lives, and also how to nourish ourselves. And one of the biggest failings is that we're band-aiding this stuff. We're chucking in. HR departments are spending tons of money on wellness programs, on well-being bits, getting people to do wellness days, coming in for an hour a week.
I've done it,
right? And it's lovely.
Body Shop.
They do this, right? Yeah, you Body Shop, right? So they're doing this, but they're missing the simple wins that they can have on a daily basis, which is these strategies that you rightly touched on. Working for 90 minutes, taking a short break, getting into something creative. Google, here's a good example of firm. Google and a couple of companies out there, I think eBay does it as well. They deliberately have games rooms.
I've seen it. I've gone into the table tennis and snooker.
Yeah, right there.
Now, I get it. Listen, I understand their mindset. They're very successful companies. You want your staff to be happy. It's not a slave. You want it. To me, I want a team. I'm like, I always want to be Captain Kirk, and you want to be the Starship Enterprise. Everyone is equally important, and Captain Kirk will listen to the smallest person in authority if he's got the right answer. You want that team effort. Everyone's working together. So I get it. I mean, so if you're a corporate dude, look after your staff, give them the breaks.
But we don't do it, and the thing is, connecting versus disconnecting. When you're withdrawing, I mean, if we look at nature does this. Nature in nature, when the sun is up during the course of the day, all the animals engage. Majority of species of animals are engaged in activity. Nature itself is engaged in activity. When the night falls, other than nocturnal creatures, the majority of,
I don't know if you've got a cat. I've got cats, and any cat people will know how much they sleep, because when they're active, they sleep. They need the sleep, because when they're active, they are pounding, pouncing, hunting. Even domestic cats, they still play.
Cats,
they
yeah,
go
still.
They go out. They, yeah, takes. I know. Sure. I've just started training again hard. For those who don't know, I've just taken on a little challenge coming up. Oh, hang on, what's going on? I've lost you. Can you see me?
I can see you, man.
And I'm training hard. And where I'm training so hard, I'm exhausted all day. And I need to find time to relax. Because I'm pushing my body. I've just agreed to have another fight. It's already, people
talking about know. Challenge, right?
Yeah.
Talking about challenging.
And that's a challenge, because I'm not the athlete I once was. I'm not being, so I need to have lots of breaks. I need to be kinder to myself. I'm exhausted. I've pushed my body. I went for a run today. I haven't run in years, hard. And I'm training like an athlete, and I feel my whole body aching. I need rest, like a cat. If I want to pounce and get my prey, I've got to rest. I've got to have lots of breaks.
So true. And again, it comes, Alex, by the way, massive kudos for that, because that takes guts, that takes discipline, and nervous. It takes just the right degree of crazy.
I'm excited as well.
But the beauty is, you of all people know as an athlete the importance of that rest period, and it's and what we're trying to share here, I guess, folks, is the importance of disconnecting from both. That's why we said in the headline, it's disconnecting from people and things. So things, when we're talking about things, we're talking about technology. So let's get clear for a bit. We're not going to go into a really long thing, and we can do this as a two-part. I think there's a lot of content here, right, Alex, if that's okay. So look, disconnecting from things is stuff like disconnecting from technology. As Alex said, maybe changing your habits so you're not looking at Facebook last thing before you go to bed, or you're confining it to certain pockets in the day. So disconnection doesn't mean that you're entirely leaving it aside and then you're facing that phobia that a lot of us get, like technology. There's even a name for it, Alex. Nomophobia. There's actually a name for this. Nomophobia is the phobia of not having your mobile near you for more than a half an hour. It's called nomophobia. It's the damn name for this thing.
I've seen it when I train guys. There's a couple of guys I've trained, and I'm doing a set, and they're on their phone in between every set. And I'm like, mate, come on, you paid me for a session. Use me. Don't look at your phone. Let's come on.
Right there, right.
If you want, but I've done it. I've gone to have therapy myself, and I've have my phone on, and my therapist would say, like, next time we're going to turn the phone off.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's this fear, right? Nomophobia. So what we're trying to say here, folks, is, and we're not here preaching, Alex, as you've often said, we're not here to preach. We're here to share what we're learning and give ideas and strategies that we hope will add value to your life, because God knows the world needs more of that. And obviously more of us do that, the better it is for everyone. So let's talk about this. One, let's learn to disconnect from things. And things means technology. It also means maybe not binge watching once in a while. It might mean not having the TV. Here's a thing that we do with some of my coaching clients whose kids are a little unruly. So we've just got this thing where I have them just take the plug out and hide the remote. Now the kids can't use the TV. You need a remote to use TVs. So they have no remote, and they unplug it, or they.
Can you go back to the one where you said not binge watching?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I actually crave to do that. I don't do that. So maybe I should do that. Could that be a case for me?
It could be.
I never watch films, and I love that. I miss that. And that's my...
So for you, that could be your disconnection. So look, we're not saying disconnection means no technology. It could be, it's doing something that you're not normally doing. So if you're using technology, watching films, doing movies, this, that, then for you, it could be disconnecting from that for a while, for a sustained period. And a sustained period could be a few hours to a full day. It could be even a week. But I think it's good to start with a few hours or a day. That's a great start in this day and age where everybody's so wired up. But for you, it might be to actually connect. You don't watch movies. For you, it might be actually, in my downtime, I'm going to disconnect from my busy schedule, and I'm just going to go and watch Only Fools and Horses. I'm going to go and watch 3 episodes back to back of Only Fools. Yeah. Have a good laugh. You know, get it out.
I do that sometimes. And what I found I need to do more, almost in reverse, because my cure might be your poison.
Yeah.
So, and we often find that that's something that's coming up. What we're going to talk about in great detail. Somebody's cure can be somebody's poison. That's another subject. But my get out of jail disconnect is going to the gym. And I need to stop doing that. I mean, I know I need to train, and right now I need to be extremely specific. So if anything, I need to rest. I mean, I want to do more. I need to be the best. I've got to train. And if you train too much, what I need to do is go and actually watch a few films, and sit down. And although that's meditation is fantastic, and we teach that on our retreats, and the actual proper practical breathing. Silencing your mind is the best disconnection to reconnect bar none.
It really is. It is.
But for me, like I said, going to the gym, which can be almost a bit of poison to me because my body needs to rest. Right. So maybe for me, I should lie on the couch and watch a film.
You know what? For real, that is just watching a film. So, and this is the point. Sometimes it's doing, as I said, it's doing the thing that you're not necessarily doing all the time. Do that as your disconnect. And for you, it could be that you don't watch movies, so it could be that for you. But what we're talking about here is making technology our friend. And for technology to be our friend, it's like when you're dating somebody, here's just an example, right? Imagine you're dating somebody, or there's somebody you love hanging out with. Imagine you're one of your best friends. Let's not go down the romantic path. Imagine it's one of your best friends. Imagine if you saw your best friend all the time at dinner time, at breakfast, in the afternoon. After a while, you're kind of going to you both kind of get worn. So the strange paradox in life, and sorry guys if I'm getting a little philosophical here, but
I'm sorry.
I think thank you. It's like, so the strange paradox in life is the very thing that we crave can often become the very thing that we curse because we've had too much of it. We become sick of it. It's like having your favorite chocolate on tap every day. It's like having your favorite person that you get turned on by naked all day, every day, every week. After a while, it just
the prettiest girls could become not pretty.
It's just
my best mate. I love him to pieces, but if we live together, we want to kill each other.
Right. And so which brings us to this point, which is that, again, it brings us to the point of the need to disconnect. We always need to disconnect. And so this message is, when you disconnect, a magic happens. I think you just alluded to it, by the way, Alex. When you disconnect, the mind gets a break from what it's used to in the norm. It also gets a break from the exertion, usually with your day job or your business or whatever it is that occupies us, 60-70% of our waking day. When we disconnect from it, even for small periods of time, the mind gets a respite. Now, when you then turn that mind to something creative, something expressive, maybe watching Only Fools and Horses or a comedy series, or maybe no technology, walking out in nature, working out in the gym, whatever it is for you that takes you away from the thing that you do and makes you feel more creative and joyful, you're actually giving the mind a chance to recover from that stressful exertion that it does 60-70% of its time. And by doing so, guess what you do? Same thing you do when you're going for a workout really intensely and then you're recovering. It's in the recovery that the muscles rebuild stronger. So in the same way, your mind gets a rest and it comes back more stronger. Its cognitive faculties are replenished.
Let me just leave you a story. I went to see, brilliant. And you've just brought up I went to see a friend, Emily Carding, in a play. She's a fabulous award-winning actress, nominated but not Emmys or whatever. I don't know the acting. I should know. I'm an actor. I don't know. She's got all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
She was doing a one-woman play, and it was absolutely amazing. It was about a dystopian future where she's an AI. She's an AI avatar created in this world. Long story short, she's talking for about 55 minutes non-stop. And I said to her, we had a drink in the bar after the performance. And I said, do you ever dry up? I said, oh my God, did you not? You wouldn't have noticed it, but I did today. I actually did. I have all this information. And I was like, oh shit, oh God, oh shit. I don't know the words. And I'm like, what she did was, she said, right, okay. This is, imagine this. Let me explain to you. If you're on stage, 1 second can feel like an hour. If you muck up, it's like you're having a super adrenaline charge through your body. So she relaxed and she said, right, I know this. I'm just going to cover it. And she's playing a robot. So she started doing she was talking and then she just drew up and she just managed to write. I know. She said in her mind, right. She had instant shit. Okay, listen, talking to herself. You know this. Cover it up. It'll come. It'll come. And I said, and I said, did it? And she was there for about a minute.
Yeah.
Which felt like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then started talking, and it came out. And one of her friends who'd seen it a couple of times, this performance, she said, I don't know what you did there, but that was absolutely amazing. And she was like, I forgot my lines. But what she did was, she relaxed. She relaxed. I mean, that's a case of where she disconnected because she had all this information which was overloading her, and she learned how to just relax. So sometimes you've got some. I've been on stage and I've been doing talks. I'm sorry, what did you say, Prash? That's what happens. I can't remember. I'm like, and that's very embarrassing.
Right.
But you have to learn how to, like, okay, because you've got so much information, and I've got so many court cases and learning lines for 3 different plays and a film, and starting 2 new businesses, and trying for a baby.
And the contest coming up as well, right? So.
Oh yeah.
So, the thing is, you have, I guess, so many people understand the need to be able to disconnect. And as I said, there are 2 types of disconnections. There's disconnection from things, which we've been touching on, and then there's disconnection from people. And sometimes we need to disconnect from people too, to keep it healthy. And that's why I think for all of us, we can learn some value from having a little distance. Distance can create sweetness when it's in a controlled way. It's like living together. I used to live with my brother and my brother and I used to live together for many years. And then my sister-in-law moved in. She's a lovely human being. But when the 3 of us were together for a good number of years, we started getting on each other's nerves. And my brother was like in the middle. And when we had our own spaces and places, and we kind of had our own houses and we went our ways, but stayed close to each other, the relationship is a lot sweeter. Yeah. And so again, another realization and another idea for all of you here tuning in to consider is how you can strategically introduce some healthy distance. That is some disconnection from people. And that can be done on a daily or a weekly basis, typically on a weekly basis. And with your work colleagues, for example, maybe you want some controlled time where you're away from your work colleagues so you don't get distracted, where you're able to focus on your craft and really increase your productivity. Great way to increase productivity.
From your loved one. Absolutely.
From your loved ones.
Makes the heart grow
fonder. So a little bit of controlled disconnection from people can be a great thing. And here's another thing, folks. I'm getting really serious for a minute. I know certainly from my own life in the past, and Alex, you know this for sure. Certainly some of the clients I coach have this going on, that there are people who are negative in our lives. Now, we can't necessarily get rid of them entirely because there may be a connection, there may be family, there may be friends, but there is something inherently unhealthy when you spend a lot of time with those people. So learning to strategically back off and disconnect from those people from time to time is great for you, and it's great for them. Does that make sense? So again, disconnecting from people is another great strategy to deliberately program into our week.
Let's just argue. Not argue. I want to discuss that because I've suffered this. Sometimes it could be your loved one, and you're injecting more energy into it. Come on. You're pushing, you're pushing, which is the wrong thing. I mean, obviously, you need to talk. If you're stop being so negative. Come on. I'm coming here. Let's be positive. Come on, let's be happy. Come on.
Yeah.
You did this. I did that. You did this. You did that. Oh, come on.
Exactly.
So you need to just like walk away, isn't it? Sometimes silence speaks 1,000 words.
Sometimes you've just got to do that walk away, and I think it's so true. You
But
sometimes you have
not
to do
talking
that.
about walking away emotionally,
No,
because you still love them. You're just having a retreat. Whenever I've had arguments with my lovely Nicola, I always go and walk away and I just half an hour, and I'm like,
that's all you need.
You
change.
I'm like, I just need to just shut up. I'm just going. I'm going out. Going for a walk.
Absolutely.
Half an hour. I feel all right. Do you know what? I was a bit of a dick there. You were a bit of a dick as well. Let's go have a cuddle.
Beautiful. So beautifully put. The magic of disconnection, folks. I guess we're at time, Alex.
I think so.
And I know we want to save. I know you wanted to save some for next time, and this could really be something we can go into again.
Yeah.
But folks, I guess you know, as Alex said at the beginning, or if he didn't, I'm just going to say it now. Feel free to leave your comments and ideas of how you're facing up to these challenges of learning to disconnect, or where the overconnectedness is causing problems in your life with people and things, and just share your ideas and strategies of how you're going to employ this here, because that way we can all learn, right, Alex?
And lastly, yes, sir. And lastly, if you're free in March next year, me and Prash, we're running a real course on how to really disconnect. Because sometimes it's good to have a retreat, and you can disconnect from life and learn some biohacks and some hacks on how to really reconnect.
Absolutely, and that's what we'll be doing.
Yeah, so
in March. So watch out for that. The 4th to the 7th.
Body and spirit retreat.
A mind, body, and spirit retreat in Harlow. So it's in the UK.
We're having conversations like this, and we'll really teach you how to meditate, how to chant, and you just, like I said, I went to, I'm just going to finish with this mantra therapy Christmas party on Saturday, and even I felt for a millisecond, I felt a bit silly, and I thought, you know what?
For a millisecond,
yeah. I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's okay. It's how we've been conditioned. It's how we've been programmed in society. We don't get up and talk. It's all, you know, handshakes and yes, hello. But we're getting up and dancing and, like, you know, chanting and having fun. And when people do that, it's wonderful. Right,
yes,
mate?
It's just a beautiful thing, man. It is just a beautiful thing. So
we need to be children sometimes.
We need to be, and you know what we will do? We'll be playful out there from Friday.
Be silly.
We'll be silly. Absolutely. We're going to get that chance, folks, early March. For more information, just drop us a line here, get in touch. We'll fill you in. We're being a little bit choosy about the people we take. We want the right kind of energy. So get in touch, and would love to discuss what you can get out of joining us on these retreats. And then we'll take a handful of people and create something very, very beautiful.
Like I said, I know I'm going on and on. I did an interview, the Sarah Morton Firth show, and she asked me about, do I want significance? Yes, I want significance. And she said, don't you think it's more about connection? And I said, au contraire, you've got me there. If I have connection, I will have significance. And we're going to teach you how to connect by disconnecting.
That's the irony. That's what it is. That is the magic that happens through this irony. So, folks, lots of love. Alex, we're going to have to keep a close eye on what's happening as you get ready for Mr. Kong. That's going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure we'll hear more about it in the time. And you know what? There's going to be, folks, there'll be realizations. Alex, you've got to keep us posted on your philosophical and life realizations.
I've got some bruises. Someone had their face on and pushing my nose. So, anyway, I love you all. Speak to you later.
Love you all. Take care, guys. Peace out. All the best.